besides individual participants. There are 12 industry associations. And when we speak to those industry associations, two things emerge. One is this very high level of optimism and confidence about the growth prospects in India of the entire food processing sector, but as I said, the hospitality sector in all its dimensions. This was reflected also in the demand for space. The demand for exhibition space this year is much higher than what we had last year, and in fact, perhaps far exceeds the space that is available or usable space that is available over here. Sometimes, and of course, in the future years, we'll be seeing expansion of Bharat Mandapam also with redevelopment in the second phase. But to me, that's a great sign. And so when we look at the numbers today, what you need to also bear in mind is the fact that there is a certain degree of unsatisfied demand for exhibition space, for other things. So the 40th edition today has many, 1,800 participants. We have 150 odd exhibitors from abroad, from 17 countries. Total area that is under the exhibition space is 125,000 square meters, taking into account certain ancillary services also. The range of products that are displayed cover everything from processed food to bakery, confectionery. We have equipment of all kinds that go into the hospitality sector, the decor for the hospitality sector. So all of this is on display. For the first time, we also have a partner country, and Italy was an important choice for us in the first year for a number of reasons. One, of course, it builds on the EU-India FTA that was concluded during the historic EU-India summit on January 27. Second, we've seen a dramatic increase in India-Italy ties over the last few years, especially under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. They've really seen a lot of momentum in the last few years. Italy is, of course, one of the leading countries in the world for tourism, hospitality, and the culinary art. So we're very delighted that Italy accepted our offer to be the partner country, and I think they will bring a great deal of value to this AAHAR. And when I look at the foreign companies, we do see a large number coming from Australia, from Brazil, Canada, Italy, of course, and Thailand. This United Kingdom, these are the countries which have the largest number of participants. And in terms of facilities this year, we have as I said, what unique features this year includes, of course, the Italy as the first partner country, and there is now, of course, a demand from others for future years. The second is that we have a very nice now comprehensive app for AAHAR, which has a very easy way of navigating through everything that you would want in AAHAR, from navigating the way through all the exhibitors, but also setting up business meetings, looking at other kinds of facilities, even booking rides and so on and so forth. So I encourage all of you, we'll have a little bit of a play on the new app today, but encourage all of you to download the app later and see the experience that it provides. So we'll continue to try and improve it. This year we have air-conditioned food courts for the visitors, which will add a great deal of convenience since the March temperatures seem to be much higher. To me, one of the most attractive features of AAHAR every year is the Master Chef competition, and the chef's competition is being organized by, and the jury is going to be the World Association of Chef Society, and with the jury will include renowned chefs from 6 to 7 countries. and that is, we expect 600 participants from all over India competing every day based on a particular, a sort of call that will be given for preparing a certain kind of a thing. So 600, 200 professionals, 400 amateurs will be there. In addition, there will be, of course, international cuisine displays and opportunities for tasting them. So we have a pretty interesting AAHAR coming up, and in the future, I encourage all of you to definitely come and see that MasterChef sort of competition and display. Every day there will be something new that will be in hall number 1. In down the line, we intend to also find a way to open it to a wider public, because there will also be classes on different cuisines, which will be taken by some of the best chefs in India and from abroad. So this will be a great opportunity for all of us who like cooking or like good cuisine to learn from some of the best chefs in India and abroad. So these are some of the important features that I thought I would point out to you. And we're very encouraged that so far, despite the fact that we've had such disruptions due to the war in West Asia and the Gulf, that the participation remains, especially the international participation, it remains pretty strong. We haven't seen, or at least received, a great number of cancellations. I'm sure there will be a few who will not be able to turn up, but all the stalls have been set up, and so far we've not seen any cancellation insofar as stalls are concerned. But we'll see. Every day is a new reality, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow. But so far, it has been very encouraging. So thank you very much. क्योंकि ये अधिकांश रूप से तो फूड इम्पोर्टर्स होते हैं और प्रोसेस्ड फूड इम्पोर्टर होते हैं. The context to see how it is received and how well it works, because what I have seen in wine tasting, it's one thing to have a displays of wine, but having brought that they create a particular ambience and a particular environment in which they do the wine tasting, and it's very specific sector with very specialized skills on this, perhaps more than in any other area. So this year we didn't receive a lot of interest in organizing a similar wine tasting events and things, different from the competition on cuisine and culinary skills, which the demand is so high that we've had to give 1,000 square meters of space for both the competition section and for the classes that the chefs will hold every day for visitors. Now, so we'll see how it goes. We will again try it next year. Maybe once this becomes different, maybe it can be just displayed as commodities, as products, rather than organize a great wine tasting around it. But we'll try it again next year. Very comprehensive question, more 360 degree than mine. Overview. I think it's the figures for the growth of the overall MICE hospitality sector in India is still varies from depending on what survey you read, but it's clearly in double-digit figures in the hospitality sector. Some studies would indicate 15 to 18% annual growth, which is sounds very reasonable given all the other factors that we have seen. Population, rising income levels, urbanization, digitalization, lifestyle changes, growth in business, prosperity. And travel, both leisure as well as business travel. So all of that taken seems quite reasonable. There are segments within this which is growing at about 25%. So for example, if you, from what I hear from some of the hotel sector, now this is anecdotal because nobody in India has actually carried out that kind of study, that in some of these celebratory events, if you can call it, weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, corporate events. These are celebratory events. It may be even growing at above 20% a year. And anecdotally, I've seen when all of these associations used to come, some of the hotel owners say that even if you go to a small place, you will not find place easily, etc. Why this sector is very important, and you remember Prime Minister even spoke about concert economy, once. No, the MICE is such a driver of decentralized growth, and it has so many second order benefits. So if you have a summit or a convention or a fair in any place, what you see is business going to hotels, transporters, retailers, aviation industry, everybody. So it's a great multiplier effect it has in terms of employment and income. So I think there are countries that have actually prospered by just promoting themselves as MICE venues. We are actually need to do that on a much more aggressive scale. And this is a high priority for ITPO. Both MICE as a segment of tourism. So now we tell, for example, very recently, our subsidiary in Tamil Nadu, which is Tamil Nadu Trade Promotion Organization, we told them they should also accompany the Tamil Nadu tourism when they were going abroad for a road show, because bringing MICE tourism has become a very important priority for us. We are going to host a conference also on that later this year. Bring in international participants, and there are different ways you promote this. One is that tie up with major MICE organizers globally to bring MICE business into India. A second, that we do our own road shows, participate in international conferences around MICE activities. And we are also trying to work as a whole of government approach. I think if you look at MICE, it cannot just be an ITPO event or a venue event. The city has to get involved. Transport sector, hospitality sector, hotel sector, local government. So our effort will also be to try and create a kind of a coordination mechanism for MICE activities here. Another thing that is our mandate for ITPO, which is a long-term agenda, is to develop MICE infrastructure in other parts of the country. This is a mandate that has come from Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Commerce and Industry Minister, that we should develop MICE infrastructure in other parts of the country. You remember when we did G20, we had 200 events in 60 cities. 60 cities. I don't think any country ever attempted that. The same thing happened with AI Impact Summit. There were many sub-activities in different parts of India. So MICE is a great instrument of prosperity and development. So this is a massive priority for us. We are also working with the entire MICE private sector in India to collaborate and to be partners in bringing MICE business into the country. Many of them have networks and connections abroad, and many of them already have businesses. But we, which have, ITPO has great venue here. We have a great venue in Bangalore and in Chennai, and we will be building in other places. Want to be able to partner them to create very aggressive MICE marketing. And as I said, that tying up with major MICE organizations globally, management company, event management companies, major corporates globally. When I was in Paris, we had at least some of the major boards holding their first ever meeting here. For example, Cartier was here, Safran was here, Airbus was here to do their annual board meetings. We had the global show of Dior in Mumbai in front of Gateway of India in 2023. So there are different ways you just start bringing businesses over here. So collaboration with domestic industry, international networks and industry, and increased participation in the all these associations. There are different associations globally on MICE. And then working with our local governments, wherever we are going to do MICE, to make this a whole of government effort. So it's seamless from airport to arrival to departure. It becomes a city activity, not just an ITPO or a particular event management company activity. So yes, this is a huge priority for the government and a huge priority for us at ITPO. And I'll give you an example. India hosted here, for the first time, UNESCO Intangible and Tangible Heritage Committee meetings. So there are two separate ones. There's a Committee on Intangible Heritage, there is a Committee on Tangible Heritage. We've never done that before, thanks to our, our representative in UNESCO and our own aggressive marketing. It was held in Delhi, and representatives from all UNESCO member countries, 190 of them came here. And when they came back, I asked them for the feedback, and they said the organization of both were among the best they have ever experienced anywhere where these events are being held globally. Because they said, one of the things that struck me was they said the human resources in India that service the MICE sector is really now trained professionally. They understand what is needed even during the event, how people who service the MICE sector work. And that was a big takeaway from me, because that just shows in the last few years, especially because of G20 and subsequent events, how much we have grown and improved as a country that can confidently host large MICE events.